gaslight you to death. J. Weed's The Oldest Trick in Power's book. It's the oldest trick in the authoritarian playbook, and they still run it because it still works on too many people. First, they victimize you. They isolate you. They break your life apart, quietly, behind closed doors. They smear your name. They kill your pets. They torch your home. They strip your dignity piece by piece. And when you finally react, when you dare to raise your voice, when you stand up and scream, "This is wrong," they point the finger and say, "See, look how unstable, look how angry, look how dangerous." And just like that, they flip the narrative. The victim becomes the villain, the abuser becomes the concerned citizen, the power structure becomes the peacekeeper. I watched this happen inside the Green Party Accountability Committee, GPAC, when certain members flipped the committee from transparency and democracy to state socialist, authoritarian, controlled messaging. I stood up. I called it out. And yes, I was angry. I raised my voice. Because real revolutionaries aren't polite in the face of betrayal. And that anger, the same anger they provoked, was seized and weaponized as the excuse to label me the problem, to exile me, to erase the truth of what really happened inside GPAC, and they still lean on that lie today. It's the same tactic I now see in the case of Jonathan Joss, the actor who played John Redcorn on King of the Hill, a native man, a man who was terrorized, his beloved dogs poisoned, his home burned down, his world attacked. And when he showed righteous anger, when he demanded justice, those behind the harassment turned his anger into their cover. They painted him unstable. They cast him as the aggressor. And now he's dead, gaslighted to death. This is no isolated event. This is systemic. This is one of the oldest patterns of power, and it targets the very people most likely to resist. The outsider, the revolutionary, the whistleblower, the colonized, the person of color, the poor, the anarchist, the loud truth-teller in a room full of cowards. History is littered with these stories, victims driven mad, driven to despair, or outright killed, and the system washing its hands, saying they were dangerous, unstable, it was inevitable. But what is inevitable is this. When enough people see this game, the game breaks. Because here's the truth, they can't hide. Anger in the face of abuse is not a crime. Raising your voice to oppression is not violence. And being loud is not the same as being wrong. It's often the first sign you are right. I was right about GPAC. Jonathan Joss was right to demand justice. And every person who has been gaslighted for standing up is right to burn bright in the face of lies. We are in an age where gaslighting you to death is being used on entire populations, on Palestine, on whistleblowers, on indigenous resistance, on anti-fascists, on socialists, on anarchists, on Greens, on every movement that threatens the status quo. It's time we burn this tactic to the ground, expose it, name it for what it is, the gaslighting of the oppressed, the persecuted, the targeted, used to justify their silencing, their erasure, their murder, and today, let us name one of the latest victims, Jonathan Joss, a man who spoke for his people, a man who demanded justice when injustice destroyed his life, a man whose voice they tried to twist against him until they silenced him for good. This is not just a pattern, it is a crime as old as empire, and the louder we shout this truth, the harder it is for them to bury the next voice. Rest in power, Jonathan Joss. We will not let them write this story without the truth.